Those first few moments of the day, they really do have this incredible power, don't they?
They really
They can set the tone for, well, everything that follows, shaping our entire day before we even realize it.
Mm,
Whether it's a calm, intentional start or, a frantic dash, how we begin really matters.
absolutely.
And that's exactly what we're deep diving into today.
Mm,
The fascinating distinctions and maybe surprising overlaps between the morning routines of some of the world's most successful individuals, the billionaires,
right.
and what often looks like a more, let's say, regular morning for many of us.
That's right. And our mission in this deep dive isn't just peeking into how the other half lives, though, let's be honest. That's kind of fun, too.
Sure is.
It's really about pulling out actionable insights into the mechanisms behind their habits, understanding why these things work,
Okay.
and then seeing how we can all maybe approach our mornings a bit better, gain a greater sense of control, and really launch into our days with purpose, regardless of our circumstances.
So let's just lay it out there. Is there something, I don't know, magical about these so-called billionaire mornings? Or is it mostly just hype, clever branding?
Well,
What we found is that many ultra-wealthy individuals aren't just disciplined, they seem almost like obsessed with intentionality.
intentionality, yeah.
And their mornings are a really clear reflection of that. I mean, take Jeff Bezos, for example. He's famously said he doesn't even use an alarm clock.
Right. Wakes naturally.
Prefers to wake up naturally and prioritizes what he calls high-quality thinking time. And get this, he has a strict rule: absolutely no meetings before 10 a.m.
Wow. 10 a.m. That protects a good chunk of the morning.
It really does.
And it's not just Bezos, is it? You look at someone like Oprah Winfrey, her day starts with this powerful trio: meditation, exercise, and gratitude journaling.
Right.
And she does all of that before she even thinks about engaging with work stuff. It's like a deliberate sequence to prime her mind and body.
Okay, so a very mindful start. Any of the other extremes?
Yeah, like Tim Cook, Apple CEO, he reportedly wakes up at, 3, 4, 5 a.m.?
3:45. That's incredibly early.
It is, and he's straight into tackling emails and hitting the gym, really getting a massive head start on the day.
And Elon Musk, his is pretty well, too. He reportedly skips breakfast entirely.
Yeah, just dives straight into high-priority work. His first task is usually mental, not physical.
So what's really striking here, across these very different approaches,
Yeah.
it seems to be this common thread of deliberate focus.
Exactly.
It feels like they really do protect their mornings like sacred ground. They don't just react to the day, they orchestrate it. What's the underlying principle there, do you think?
That's a great observation. And I think this deliberate focus, it isn't just about discipline. It's about leveraging the brain's prefrontal cortex when it's often at its peak right after waking up.
Okay, the thinking part of the brain.
Right, exactly. The part responsible for, executive functions, complex problem solving, making intentional decisions. So these individuals, they often design their mornings to front load those tasks that need deep cognitive work. They're effectively minimizing that reactive engagement until later. They're not just leading their day, they're strategically deploying their mental resources.
That makes sense.
And this really raises a big question for all of us, doesn't it? What can we learn from this really proactive approach to our most valuable mental hours?
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's shift gears a bit to a morning that might sound a little more familiar to many listening.
Okay. The regular routine.
Yeah, you know the drill.
Yeah.
The alarm goes off,
Yeah.
snooze, maybe again.
Guilty?
Then you grab your phone, maybe scroll through social media before you're even properly awake.
Yep.
Then it's often a rush through coffee and emails, maybe grabbing some breakfast, maybe skipping it. Then it's a dash out the door or, logging in half awake from the living room couch.
Yeah. It's far from that serene, silent start we were just talking about, isn't it?
Not at all.
And it sounds, painfully familiar to a lot of people, I suspect. It's no surprise this common, regular routine often feels chaotic, reactive.
Yeah.
It's often driven by external demands, societal pressures, or just the pull of our devices. And the result, many of us feel behind before we've even really started the day.
Right, you're playing catch up immediately.
Exactly. But the key insight here, I think, isn't about shame or judging ourselves. It's just about awareness.
Okay.
Recognizing that pattern is the critical first step if you want to make a conscious shift.
Okay, but here's the crucial pivot, right? This is where it gets really interesting, I think. We often think these billionaire routines are tied to their wealth.
Right, like you need a private chef or something.
Exactly. But that's not the real insight here at all. The truth is, these are repeatable systems. They prioritize clarity, focus, mental space.
Systems.
Yeah. You definitely don't need that personal chef or a private gym to implement the principles. You just need a few habits aligned with your own goals. So what principles can we genuinely steal from these highly effective mornings?
Yeah, and that's where it becomes really practical, actionable. It's about connecting these observations to like the bigger picture of personal effectiveness,
Right.
building a foundation for how you engage with your whole day, starting with those foundational first hours.
Exactly. So for you listening, here are 3 principles that seem to consistently show up in these routines.
Okay.
First, own your first hour. This means consciously choosing to, well, avoid screens if you can,
Big one.
and instead start with intention, whether that's maybe journaling, stretching, or honestly just making your bed and tidying your immediate space. The idea is to win early by doing something you choose.
It's about control, isn't it?
Yeah.
Taking control right away.
Yeah, it's not just about doing something productive. It's about, like you said earlier, proactively engaging that thinking brain before it gets pulled into reactive mode, setting a precedent for the day.
And this leads right into that second principle. Prioritize your brain, not your inbox.
Yes, this is huge.
Instead of immediately diving into emails or notifications, which are usually, let's face it, other people's priorities.
Right, they're emergencies.
Yeah. The advice is to start with something that serves your most important high-leverage tasks. Could be reading, could be deep thinking, maybe some strategic planning.
Whatever needs your best brain power.
Exactly. Tackle those mentally demanding tasks when your cognitive resources are fresh, before the world starts pulling you in all directions.
Okay, own your hour, prioritize your brain. What's the third one?
And the third principle, it's one that's maybe easy to overlook, but it's profoundly impactful. Make it repeatable.
Consistency.
Yes. We found variations on this idea that fancy is fragile, simple sticks.
I like that. Simple sticks.
Yeah. A 5-minute routine that you do daily absolutely beats some 90-minute elaborate thing that you only manage to do once in a blue moon.
Right, because consistency compounds over time.
Precisely. And the simpler you make it, the more likely you are to actually stick with it long term.
Now, the key here, obviously, isn't to try and perfectly copy someone like Elon Musk or Oprah.
No, definitely not.
I mean, your life isn't their life, right? Your circumstances are different. Instead, it's more about understanding the psychology of rituals
Yes.
and applying those insights to your own unique situation.
Yeah, the psychology of rituals is fascinating. It's really about creating these neural pathways that automate the behaviors you want, which reduces decision fatigue later on.
Okay, so it makes good habits easier.
Exactly. When you consistently do a morning ritual, you're not just doing a bunch of actions, you're sending a really clear message to your brain. You're saying, I'm in control, I'm safe, I'm ready. And when your brain feels that way, you just operate differently. You walk into your day, rather than feeling like you're being dragged through it.
That's a powerful image.
It is, because these routines, they reduce cognitive load, they can lower stress hormones, and that frees up your mental bandwidth for more intentional stuff throughout the day.
So really the ultimate goal here is ownership, not perfection.
Ownership, yes.
Great word for it.
Whether you wake up at 5 a.m. like Tim Cook, or you're a natural riser like Bezos, or even if your ideal wake-up time is, say, 8:30, what truly matters is how you wake up to your life, intentionally shaping those initial moments.
So yeah, to sum it up, your morning is your launchpad. It really is.
Yeah.
It's where you set the trajectory for your whole day, designing it intentionally. Well, it's like designing it like someone who truly values their time and the direction their life is going.
So even if it's, just 5 minutes of calm before chaos, that small space,
Yeah.
it can fundamentally change your mindset, your choices, and eventually, well, maybe even your life. It absolutely can. Those small hinges swing big doors.
So we invite you, maybe consider starting a new routine, even one small step. And of course, make sure to follow or subscribe to The Deep Dive for more insights like these.
And hey, seriously, if your current morning feels like a bit of a mess sometimes, please know you are definitely not alone.
Not at all.
This is a journey, it's a process, and we're here to help you figure it out together.